What's up everyone, it's Dylan from Class 1A bringing another My Hero Academia chapter breakdown. This week we have the final Vigilantes chapter, chapter 126, the Skycrawler Rising. Yes, Furuhashi actually gave him a rising chapter. This is so incredibly hype. So a bit before we actually jump into the chapter itself, today we're going to be talking just about the chapter and how the series ended. We're not going to be talking about the series from like a holistic perspective. If you want to hear our thoughts on how we're actually even going to tackle that, stick around to the end because we have so much more in store for you. But let's just jump into it. We kick off the chapter in New York City where a plane is making an emergency landing in the Hudson. Nice Miracle on the Hudson reference there. Tom Hanks would be proud. But there is nothing to fear because the Skycrawler is here. Okay, so we finally get confirmation that Koichi can't go to Japan because he has overwhelming amounts of debt and a bunch of lawsuits waiting for him there. But the good news is because of the series right now, society has kind of collapsed, so we could totally see Koichi come back now. And I actually really love how the interaction goes here because it's like he shows up to save the plane that's about to crash and everyone's just like, oh geez, it's this guy, like couldn't we get someone a little bit better? Things change, but they always stay the same with Koichi. The Skycrawler assists the landing with a new and massive use of his quirk. So Koichi's kind of insanely strong right now. I mean, just seeing how much energy he can emit from his limbs at this point is next level. Plus, he's like literally running on air. Koichi's real battle though is with the press. Public opinion is tossed up on the vigilante of Naruhara. But Makoto has things under control. She gives Koichi the perfect English line to win over the public. So when someone says, how about we go smash up Wall Street? Proletariat King Koichi replies, yes, with all my might, which gives everyone in a square mile a collective facepalm. Okay, and to be fair, I mean, Koichi coming to America and saying, I'm gonna destroy Wall Street, his public opinion should go through the roof right there. That's how I know this wasn't written by an American. No, but seriously, I really love how they're painting Koichi here, because I mean, we're at the end, he's a big shot hero, and he's still putting his foot in his mouth. He's still the same old Koichi we know and love so much. And I love these little bits of culture about how hero society is viewed in different countries. I mean, America here totally makes sense that, yeah, vigilantism is like not a big deal. In fact, it's like kind of a cool thing. You know, legally it's definitely not allowed, but American citizens, oh, they love the vigilantism. As he continues to put his foot in his mouth, Koichi is saved when a local tosses him a special I Heart New York All Might hoodie, which of course he sends a picture to Pop, who is living off in a new city in Japan. So from the looks of things, Pop is actually still trying to recover from her massive injury. I mean, this was like a grave, life-threatening injury here. It totally makes sense that she's taking a lot of time to recover. And I was really hoping for a little bit more here between Koichi and Pop. I mean, we had an entire arc was just about the love triangle of Makoto, Koichi, and Pop, figuring out their feelings and actually how to convey it to each other, just to not actually convey it to each other. I wish we had a little bit more here, but it is what it is. And we end the series the same way we started, in a back alley in Naruhara, with a gang bullying a kid, and just like the start, Knuckle Duster is still here. And we'll continue the story in My Hero Academia. Yes, old man with a cane, this rules, it's so incredibly cool. This panel is just like 10 out of 10. And I really love how we're ending where we started, just so poetic, it's so good. And the message at the end when it says it continues in My Hero Academia, I hope they mean like Koichi and Knuckle Duster and Pop, they're going to be seen somewhere in My Hero, and not necessarily like this is continuing just the story, like hey, go read the main series if you want more kind of thing. Because right now in the series, we are primed to get a Koichi reveal at any moment. I don't think we're going to have anything massive, but I could totally see a cameo happening. So the big question is, how was the ending? I think it was good. I actually think it was a good ending. I'm pretty pleased by it. Writing endings are incredibly hard to do. We should give a massive applause to Furuhashi and Betancourt for being able to pull together a series like this and make it such a good, complete series. It's really easy to fumble the ending, so like anytime we have a neutral to good ending, just instant praise right there. Now, there are two things that bother me a little bit that I wish were resolved. It doesn't make it a bad ending, but just things I wish were a little bit better. So one, obviously, is the Pop and Koichi love triangle here. I really wish there was more here. I wish there was some sort of ending. I mean, it was such a big plot point to have Pop kind of go and turn into like villain Pop. Like, obviously, it wasn't done by her own doing, but her like love and like tension, I guess, with Koichi kind of drove that along a lot. So I was really hoping to get some sort of conclusion, some sort of like, hey, like I guess we're dating now or something, or you know, just a little bit of a wink and a nod. But also I have a huge bias towards romance in my anime and manga, so you know, it could just be my bias talking here. And so the other is with Knuckle Duster. Now, I really like that we're ending right where we started in kind of like a circular kind of pattern. I really like that, and I think it's really cool. I just wish there was more from him. And what I mean by that is we got this whole part of the story talking about how He was stripped away from his hero powers and he took up vigilantism almost like a drug. And he was like going after villains and going away from his family, and there was a whole huge clash there. I wanted him to actually talk with his daughter and like start being a family instead. And in the end, not be Knuckle Duster, but instead it's like Soga. Soga showing up and taking on the mantle of Knuckle Duster. I think would have been a little bit better and more appropriate. But like I said, so many series actually flop at the end. I'm really, really, really glad that we're able to get like a neutral to good ending. Like, this just solidifies the series as being one of the best. I absolutely love Vigilantes. And I don't think we should expect an anime anytime soon. If we get one, it's probably going to be at the end of the main series. I don't think they're going to have 2 My Hero shows going on at the same time. But until then, make sure you're telling people about the series. Make sure that you're posting about it by the official release, because we have to get this animated. Okay, so what should we expect next from Class 1A? So here we're going to have something a little bit more long form with Andrew and James. We're going to have kind of like a long form discussion about this series, some of our thoughts, a lot more free form and casual, but if you have questions, make sure you leave them here below. We already got a ton to go over. We're also going to have something that's long and a little bit more produced. Don't expect that anytime soon, but it's going to be more of like a holistic view of Vigilantes as a series. And of course, we still have the main series that we're going over and Demon Slayer as well, so there's tons of stuff to keep up with because My Hero is not stopping here. There is so much more left. And Chainsaw Man is coming out this fall, and I really want to follow the anime because this series is just so good. So hopefully that you stick around there, and if there's anything that you want to see here, any series, any topics that we should cover, please leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you all next class.